this man. This man has destroyed my family. This man has took something from me that he can never give it back. Never. And I ask you, mercy, get this man life. What was he doing out here in society? Nothing. He took advantage. He don't care. He ain't shown no remorse. He don't care. He killed my baby, and she was so dumb. She loved this monster.
On the evening of December 11th, 2015, a 24-year-old woman was found dead and abandoned in a trash dumpster in one of the neighborhoods of Detroit, Michigan. The woman was Kajavia Globe, who had left home for work the day before this tragic incident. When she did not return home, her family grew anxious and called the police, who later came to a shocking discovery of Kajavia, killed in a hurtful manner and her body dumped. But that was not hurtful enough. It was how close the person arrested for the murder of this innocent woman was. This is the story of Kajavia Globe. We would love to extend our deepest condolences to the family and friends of Kajavia Globe. Also, we take this crime case as a close reminder to everyone listening to what our closest people advise us against. Born on January 17, 1991, in Detroit, Michigan, Kajavia Chardre Globe was the oldest of three girls. Their mother, LaShonda Globe, had Kajavia when she was just 16 years old. LaShonda and Kajavia were close as they pretty much grew up together. Their bond was unbreakable.
I have 4 daughters, which Kajavia is the oldest. Wonderful girls, every last one. I had Kajavia at 16. She outpassed me. All of them had, actually. I'm a proud mother. Kajavia was the perfect big sister. They call her Sister Mama, because when I left, she took control. She was my everything.
According to her mother, LaShonda, Kajavia was an active and amazing big sister to her siblings. She was a big help to her mom, and her mom supported her in the same way. But Kajavia wasn't just a beautiful face or a perfect big sister. She was also an incredibly smart girl. She was focused on her grades, and she attended one of the best high schools in her neighborhood, CMA Communication for Media Arts High School in Detroit. Like many teenage girls discovering romance, she found herself drawn to a boy she met in her computer class, Maxwell Brack. Kajavia had been studying at the school for some years, but Maxwell had only attended the school briefly. During that time, Kajavia and Maxwell took a liking to each other. Eventually, Maxwell visited Kajavia's home, and he was introduced to LaShonda and the other family members. Kajavia and Maxwell would regularly hang out together doing regular teenage stuff and would end up dating. But according to LaShonda, Kajavia's mother, Kajavia was not allowed to have boyfriends as long as she was living under her mother's roof. But that didn't stop the young lovers. Kajavia was smitten with Maxwell. He could do no wrong in her eyes. At just 17 years old, Maxwell got his own place, and Kajavia didn't waste time in helping him decorate his place and give it that woman's touch. The pair continued their relationship all through college. Due to her academic achievements, Kajavia went on to attend Wayne State University, where she studied anesthesiology and mortuary science.
Her first major was anesthesiologist. Her second major was mortuary science.
Kajavia was more than a determined student. She was also a hard worker. She worked as a receptionist in one of the dorm halls at her school. In the fall of 2015, Kajavia went on to become employed as a customer service representative with a company called Minix Co. Records. Her coworkers described Kajavia as a breath of fresh air, a kindred spirit, a woman who always kept up with herself, happy and positive, and just a big ball of energy. In December of 2015, after just working for a few months, working vigorously, and being an outstanding employee, Kajavia was promoted to a supervisory leadership role at her job. Her promotion was well-deserved. Kajavia had a lot of love for her coworkers, so she couldn't leave her department without acknowledging her team. So, on December 11th, Friday morning, she left them a farewell letter on her desk that read, "Goodbye," and she left work early. However, little did her coworkers know that would be the last time they would ever see or hear from her again. After Kajavia left her workplace, she didn't go home, and nobody had heard from her past noon that day either. Her mom and her sister Alondriana claimed to have spoken to her earlier that morning. They also claimed nothing seemed out of the ordinary when they had spoken to Kajavia. So when LaShonda was informed around 8 p.m. later in the evening from her other daughter Alondriana that Kajavia had never made it home, they decided to check the home where Kajavia resided. They also contacted Maxwell to ask about her whereabouts, but he said he hadn't heard from her. The family rode around the neighborhood in search of Kajavia. LaShonda stated it was strange for her to not have heard from Kajavia, or for her not to be home at that time of the evening, as they had never gone a day without speaking to each other. After a few hours, the family printed out flyers of Kajavia's photo and began handing them out in hopes of someone being able to help locate her. They also handed some of the flyers to Maxwell so he could do the same. Alondriana searched Kajavia's iCloud and reached out to everyone who had come up in Kajavia's recent call log and texts to see if they knew anything about her disappearance.
Get into her iCloud, her phone records, things of that nature. Yeah.
Did you have access to these things?
Yes, I gained access. Yes.
So did you go into her iCloud?
Yes.
Why?
Because I can track her location from there.
Were you able to track her location?
No.
And then you said you accessed her phone records.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
To see who's the last person to call.
On Saturday, December 12th, the family went to the police station to file a missing persons report. LaShonda had found out from Alondriana that there had been a withdrawal of $500 from Kajavia's debit card at an ATM the night she went missing, which was really odd because LaShonda had taught her girls not to carry around cash and just use their cards for purchases. So it didn't make sense why that amount of cash would be withdrawn. Alondriana found out about the withdrawal because she called the bank to find out if there had been any activity on Kajavia's account, and the bank had confirmed that there was. So Alondriana and LaShonda went to the bank and spoke to a manager to find out who had made the withdrawal. However, the manager was unable to give out specific information, so they had to wait for the detectives to be able to obtain that information for them. A few days later, on Monday, December 14th, 2015, the police released eerie photos from surveillance video of a man in a vehicle wearing a Halloween mask going to the ATM on 7 Mile and Telegraph Road using Kajavia's debit card. This, of course, brought on more tension and speculations as to who could have been under that mask. Also on that morning, LaShonda received a call from a friend at approximately 7:45 a.m. to inform her that Kajavia's car was found abandoned on Chatham Street near Telegraph Road and Fenkell. When police searched the car, they found evidence that a crime had been committed. Later that same night, just a month before Kajavia's 25th birthday, LaShonda found out that the body of her 24-year-old daughter was found to be deceased. Her body was discovered by a neighbor in a wheeled dumpster in the 18,500 block of Fielding Street, in the back of an abandoned home. When LaShonda was made aware that her daughter's body had been found, she was in so much shock that she passed out, and when she was revived, she saw a bunch of police officers going in and out of a house. So she asked why they were going in and out of that specific house and what the significance was there. That's when it was revealed Maxwell was the occupant of the home. During the investigation, it was discovered that a neighbor had seen Maxwell Brack dragging a dumpster out from his home and taking it to a vacant home a couple of houses down. She also saw him take it to the back of the abandoned home and then bring it back out toward the front of the home, which was really odd. She said she saw him struggling with the dumpster as if there was something heavy inside of it, and she knew something was wrong because normally people take out their dumpsters at about 5 or 6 in the evening, but he had taken his out at about 11:30 a.m. on that particular day, and with all of the back and forth he was doing with the dumpster and the amount of time he just stood by the dumpster while talking on the phone, the neighbor felt compelled to tell officials what she had seen, and this is why it was so strange to find out that Maxwell had been the one occupying the home the police were going in and out of. Initially, when LaShonda was asked if she had any idea what may have happened to Kajavia when she went missing, she stated she had a feeling she may be around town with Maxwell and probably just didn't want to answer her phone because Kajavia knew how LaShonda felt about Maxwell. Apparently, LaShonda was never very fond of Maxwell. Maxwell made an assumption based on what he claims Kajavia told him that LaShonda didn't like him because of his upbringing. Maxwell had grown up in a broken home, and Maxwell claimed that LaShonda felt Kajavia could do better, so she resented her daughter's relationship with Maxwell.
He took her life because she was on a road to success. She was going to drop that zero because she hadn't found her hero.
When LaShonda was made aware that Maxwell lived in the house, the dumpster was initially pulled out. She knew it was him who was responsible for taking Kajavia's life.
Straight up from the jump, when I did a missing, his name was the first name because she don't deal with nobody like that. She don't mess with just anybody, and you know.
On February 5th, 2016, Maxwell Brack was arrested and charged with the murder of Kajavia Globe. It was also discovered that it was Maxwell underneath the Halloween mask, and he withdrew the money from Kajavia's debit card. Medical examiners were able to determine that Kajavia's demise was a homicide. However, unfortunately, they were unable to say what exactly caused her death. During the trial, LaShonda revealed Maxwell was heartless towards Kajavia and was extremely jealous of her. There was even a time when Max had broken Kajavia's nose.
He was abusive. He broke her nose. He was taking her down. He was destroying her life.
Was it 2014 that there was an incident that you characterized as a domestic violence incident between them? Between Max and Kajavia?
Yes.
That was 2014. Correct?
Yes.
LaShonda spoke about how Kajavia was surpassing him in life and Maxwell couldn't stand it during their relationship. LaShonda consistently reminded both her daughter and how disapproving she was of their relationship due to the level of volatility they shared with each other. She even told them if they couldn't leave each other alone one day, they would possibly end up hurting each other. But Maxwell's attorney would use this medium to question Kajavia's relationship with her mother. He pointed out that LaShonda had physically struck her, creating the imagery that LaShonda was no better than Maxwell, that she was the one who was abusing Kajavia, and Kajavia just wanted to live happily with her boyfriend Maxwell. However, LaShonda disputed that idea and made it very clear that any time she got into it with Kajavia, it was strictly due to her disapproval of their relationship and not for any other reason. During the trial, Maxwell had spoken about how in 2015 he had to spend some time in jail for shooting someone who attempted to rob him, and he had shot them with an illegal firearm, so he had to do 2 years in prison behind that.
In 2011, I believe it was, someone robbed me, and in the process of that robbery, I had a weapon of my own that I pulled out and I shot that person. And as a result of that, the weapon that I had was not legal to me. At that time I was thinking 18 or 19, and I couldn't have legally a gun at that time, and so I was charged with felony firearm and sentenced to 2 years in prison.
Maxwell was adamant that he had never put his hands on Kajavia, but court officials played audio where Maxwell clearly stated that he had put hands on Kajavia, stating that he slapped her in the face when she admitted to him that she was having sexual relations with another man.
About that text, she was saying they have Sunday dinner every Sunday. She goes over there. She was saying, I'm coming with a side. So Uncle L was really a nigga that she was fucking. Okay, so once I found that out, I got mad and slapped her. Like, my hand was just like this across the seat. I slapped the shit out of her.
However, Maxwell denied that being in the context of the voice audio and instead claimed that he was reciting what someone else said about him verbatim, and that he was not admitting to being physically violent towards Kajavia. Maxwell Brack maintained his innocence throughout the trial, even stating that he thought maybe Kajavia had just wanted to disappear willingly. During the trial, Maxwell revealed that he didn't hand out the flyers to help look for Kajavia, so why didn't he, since he claims to have loved her? In August 2016, they found Maxwell Brack guilty of second-degree murder of Kajavia Globe. On September 26, 2016, Judge Cynthia Gray Hathaway handed Maxwell a hefty sentence of 70 to 100 years. Maxwell's courtroom behavior contributed to his sentencing because apparently he had found some humor in the situation as he was seen smiling with his attorney in the courtroom. This made the judge make it clear that the last 10 years of the 70-year sentence were the result of his snickering and smiling. Maxwell tried to express that he was smiling to keep himself from getting angry over something one of the court deputies had said under her breath to him, but that didn't faze the judge. During the victim impact statements, Kajavia's family gave an emotional speech expressing their grief. Kajavia's younger sister Anaya spoke first. She expressed saying, "I just want to say that I'm torn apart. I hope that he suffers." A vigil was held on Friday, December 18th at Kajavia's old job, and everybody came out to show support, even those who didn't even know her personally. People went to the town and rallied for justice for Kajavia. They wore red and purple in honor of Kajavia, and 24 purple balloons were released in the sky for each year that Kajavia was alive. The tragedy of Kajavia Globe is one of the saddest stories we've covered, as her disappearance and mysterious death left her family and an entire community searching for answers. The sheer wickedness of one selfish human was responsible, as he cruelly cut short a young life filled with promise. What do you think could have been done to prevent this tragedy? Should Maxwell have received harsher bail conditions? How might that have changed the outcome? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much once again for watching another video. If you like